This one is for Hjelmdar and Whisperwood. May Bruticus live forever. This is a Marvel-ous team-up video. Myself, the Cross, Tadmeister, and the Faceless. We are reading Murder Falcon. And this is issues 5 and 6. And that's all I'm going to do with trying to get the heavy metal mood. Before I get to Murder Falcon, I'm going to do a very quick, what am I reading to start April bit. Because so far I'm only reading, outside of Murder Falcon, 3 books. Continuing chapter a day with Don Quixote by Cervantes. I'm hoping it starts to pick back up again, because it seems like, from what I'm hearing, the Don and Sancho are about to go adventuring again, which is much better than 50 pages of recapping the adventures. So, I'm reading Wuthering Heights, which, by the way, I'm on page 52, and I was worried about this a little bit. It's better than I thought. It's a lot better than I thought. I'm enjoying it. But, surprisingly, huge surprise, not as much as I am enjoying Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I was so not excited to read this for the reading list project with Kim at the Paper Traveler, who, by the way, is right there on the TV. I've paused the video to do my own. But I don't know. It's just, I'm basically at the end of part 1, and although I will say it's kind of funny that of all the books in history, at the same time I'm reading about Heathcliff and Mr. Darcy. And if you know, you know. So, moving on to Murder Falcon. We start off this duo of issues with new characters. And they're fighting Magnum Chaos as well. And they're losing. And it's like, okay, who are these guys? And they I guess they lose, because then we go to the to Jake and Anne talking, and making up a little bit, and the other 3 members of the band going to follow this detector, and they find what looks like a videotape. However, blue meanies are coming.
Oh no.
Murph tells Anne about the heavy. They go to save their friends that are fighting some beasties. Jake and Murph do their job, as they should. Backa, backa, backa. And then it turns out, oh no, Nate has a thingamajig attached to his head from Magnum Chaos, and he's eating his spirit to be strong. And the doctor says, well, if that's the case, he's going to have one heck of an army, because there's a whole hospital ward filled with dudes and their things on their heads. And they watch the videotape, and apparently there's a horn. The Horn of the Dead, which sounds cool. It's going to bring all the previous people back. And it turns out when Jake plays the tune, Murph gets a key on his arm. Oh ho, what's going to happen there? And then They're getting ready to say goodbye to Nate so they can go fight. Boom, boom, cracka. Hole in the hospital wall. Jake? I am Hjelmdar, the sole survivor of the band Whisperwood, and I've come to join your band. So that was a fun issue. And this is actually a pretty wicked intro page for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's probably my favorite. Hjelmdar, Tad, because you're really good at these names. If that's anybody, I mean, I'm going to watch your video here in a little bit, so maybe you'll say it. But if it's anybody, tell me, because I like it. And he tells his story about how they lost and, you know, and all that. And they go and they find the horn. And the dude showing him the horn gets on a walkie-talkie after they leave, and it says, "Yeah, it's me. They're here." So it's like, oh, crap. Then immediately they're attacked by Magnum Chaos and this thing that makes a bubble over them. So, did the old guy turn him in? Is he a traitor? We will see. Hjelmdar, his thing, which I guess is called Ajlog, and Anne escape. And the bubble has the rest of the Murder Falcon in it. And it turns out that Magnum Chaos wants Jake to play the riff so that Murph's arm can turn into the key so that he can open the door, because the horn can only be injured from within. Magnum Chaos can't hurt it from without, so he needs them. So, meanwhile, Anne and Hjelmdar are bonding, and Hjelmdar has a microphone, and she's like, "I'm not singing." And he said, "Who says you have to sing?" Which sounds pretty cool. And meanwhile, Jake is refusing to play the riff. And then it's like, okay, we're going to rock. And Anne's thinking about Jake having cancer and all this, and she's getting ready to just put all of her rage and her torment and her inner, forgive me, metalheads, her inner Hank Williams Sr. into this. Yes.
Is that a coyote?
It looks like a wolf, but who knows? Here in Michigan, we just read the news that harvested coyote actually turned out to be a gray wolf in the wild, in the lower peninsula. It's kind of unheard of. So it's actually big news. We had a wild gray wolf in the lower peninsula. Insane. I don't know how long it's been since we've had gray wolves here. In the UP, Upper Peninsula, sure. Well, anyway, so her scream destroys the bubble. And Magnum Chaos is like, what in the world is happening? And Ajlog and Hjelmdar and Anne are saving the band, Bruticus. And they go to run away, and they're like, wait. And Magnum Chaos says, "Oh, Jake, I think you forgot something." And his guitar's sitting there. And Magnum Chaos steps on it and breaks it. And when he breaks the neck of the guitar, Murder Falcon collapses. Murph collapses.
Uh-oh.
And he makes a sound that sounds like, "Back."
Well, Murder Falcon got crunchied.
Yep. And then, this is an epic words here, so I have to read it. Anne, this is Hjelmdar speaking. Anne, you have chosen to continue to yell into the void, to defy it. I must do this too, to my last day. And this is not Bruticus's last day. For Whisperwood, for metal, for Bruticus. He charges into all the snakes and all the bugs and the monsters in the bubble. and Magnum Chaos alone, jamming as hard as he can. Ajlog grabs Jake's guitar and tosses it. And as they catch it, Hjelmdar says, "Goodbye, Anne." And then, spurt of blood, Hjelmdar and Ajlog are no more. You're like, wow, what a fantastically awesome character to bring on just to kill. Okay. So that's not Freak of the Week. It's Geek of the Week. Tell me what movie that's from, everybody. So they're running. Bruticus is running, and they're like, "Oh man, what do we do?" And Murph is still almost dead, and like, "Where's our boat?" The boat's gone. They're screwed. The captain said he was going to wait. What happened? And then you see Bruticus, and then there's a dude on the boat with a violin. He's got a violin. Okay, what else is going to happen on this? What?
I didn't get to see it. Mm.
And his name is Shohei Takahashi. I'm with the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra. I'm here to help. And that's where it ends. And up next, in a week in 2 weeks or so, will be issues 7 and 8, which will finish this story. This story, these two issues didn't have so much of the depressive part. It was mostly rock out with your clock out, and let's just fight some beasties. So I mean, there was a little bit, and it's obviously about some redemption storylines. I was a little bummed out by meeting this Whisperwood band that was amazing. It was like a screamo band, and then they're just dead. But we did find out in there, I didn't really show it, that Murph knew there was lots of spirits of the metal that went out to fight, and so it's not just Bruticus, it's not just Jake and Bruticus, there's others too. So that's good to know, and it sounds like they're all kind of coming together. But it also feels like, because Magnum Chaos is talking about Jake like he was the most important of them all, so maybe Jake is like the epicenter of this thing. So we'll find out in the next two issues in the final episode. Make sure that you definitely check out both Tad and Jay's channels. The Faceless Book Reviewer, the Faceless, and the Tadmeister. I'll link their channels below. You should already know who they are. And I'll see you soon with something else. I guess until next time. Lucas for life.